My name is Rene. I'm designing wireless networks since 14 years. So, and this is a 10 talk, by the way. And the story behind this question I defined here has to do with my work. I started in 2003 designing Wi-Fi networks, and nobody told me how to do that. So I just grabbed a tool, which is my preferred tool also today. You will see soon what it is. And started to work. And one of the ideas I had at the beginning was that if I do a Wi-Fi design, I will do it independent from the manufacturer the operator will later use. So, and this starts to bring some difficulties to the work, because if you don't know what real access point model you will use later, you have to find something general model or something like that. So, and yeah, and that's the problem. Most of the access point we use today are kind of omnidirectional characterized access points. And that's what I believe long years is true, but I found some differences and I want to explain that. That's the story behind that question. And there's no vice versa, by the way. So let's talk about Wi-Fi design. What does it mean? Yeah, does it mean doing a WLAN site survey or WLAN site survey? And you have seen it. No, of course not, because this is not everything. Yeah? Does it mean access point on a stick? No, it is not everything. It's just a part of the job. And but if you do access point on a stick-based design, what access point you will use for it? What model? Yeah, and that was one of the questions I had in my brain, my left side of my brain, asking the other side of my brain, do I have to use each time the access point for my access point on a stick survey, which the operator will use later on? So, and all the problems you have with that. Organize the device, be prepared for everything. What about if it comes to external antennas? So, and I say I will not use external antennas because it just needs too much effort just for the planning. Yeah. So now back to the omnidirectional AP idea. What does it mean? It is an access point which forms something like a bubble, yeah, as an electromagnetic effect. Is it a device which looks like a device with a forest of dipole antennas? Is that an access point like we have it today? Or is it something like we have today, looks like a fire alarm sensor? I think that's the access point model we use today. And the question again, are they all the same at the end? And we will come to some details here. What you have to check, the AP transmitting power. That's one of the parameters you have to check. And don't forget, even in an Omni AP, you have an antenna gain, and it is not sure if you already know the antenna gain of the access point model. You have to check it in detail. So, and another point is the antenna mounting height. So, and coming back to the antenna, you will have to take care about the horizontal A-plane or vertical E-plane antenna diagrams. And you see the difference here. Yeah, that means that a typical vertical characteristic of an antenna from an omnidirectional access point. And this would be the expected horizontal characteristic. So we expect with an omnidirectional AP or an omnidirectional antenna that we have something like a circle in our horizontal antenna characteristic diagram. So, and now we do some reality check. So, look at this. This is an access point diagram. No, that's the RSS diagram of an access point. I choose here a model from a known manufacturer. I choose the 5 gigahertz module, and some of the guys may know this floor plan. I just did the European variant. It's a soccer game field, and I put 4 together just to have enough space to map later on. We will see, I will try to measure something later on to have enough space to see how the distribution of the signal strengths will be mapped based on the antenna diagram which is in the access point. So this is a simulation, just theory, based on free space loss calculation and the antenna diagram in the access point description. So the first question you have to ask is, will this be correct? Yeah? If you pick an access point model from your software, you have to be sure that all the data is correct. Yeah? That means you should try to find the documentation and try to find out if this antenna diagram, especially in this case the A-plane, fits to these or these sample. Yeah? So let's go through some different models. So, and here my real problem comes in. This is the access point model I always using as my reference access point in reality. It's a very old model. You will not read it. It's the 1140 from this particular manufacturer. It is not produced anymore, but I'm using them as my reference access point. And there was one point which scared me a year before or 2 years before, as I have seen the result of the A-plane diagram. It isn't something like a circle. It is different, yeah? So, and I start thinking, I'm using that as my reference, taking it like a generic access point, and yeah, found minimum for the 5 gigahertz model, it is not true, not real true, yeah, because this is not a circle. So just to explain some values I put in here, I choose a very low transmission power just to save save space I will need to map later on the antenna diagram as an RSI received signal strength map. So, okay, and I choose. I try to reach 5 dBm EERP. So that means if the antenna has 3 dB E gain, I have to choose 2 dBm of power, transmission power, in the model. Yeah. So let's look to another description we have. It's also an access point, quite old, 1240, with the dipole antenna, the omnidirectional dipole antenna. Yeah. Oh, time's gone. Okay. And then I will just go to the point look to the measurement. This is a LANCOM sample. So, and the point was to find a field to do a measurement now. And this is not a real big football field. It is just half as big as a normal soccer field in Europe. So, and I had to scale it and to measure all the distances there. And I placed my omnidirectional access point and the 1140 and the 1240 on one tripod. And this is the result for the 1140. So if you wish, it looks a little like the theoretical diagram I found out. Yeah, but only if you wish. So what is the outcome? I don't know. So you just have to be careful. What I ask the manufacturers, for instance, is to make clear what values they propagate. If they say transmission power, what do they mean? If it's the transmission power or is it AERP? Yeah, Cisco made it clear. If you put in a number, it is transmission power. That's what they explained me. Yeah, so you have to add the antenna gain. So compare it again with the theory, just to show that I did some work. That's the survey way, and to whom it interested, I did it with the Sidekick 2 weeks before. So to have a consistency on the client side minimum. Yeah. So yeah, that's me. If you need some additional information, I have a new website now with a blog. Yeah. So I'm done now. I do the second part later.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll schedule later. Thank you, Peter.